I think I've made it painfully obvious to everyone that I don't know a lot of things. But from what I understand, we're coming up on election year, and so we're going to hear more political things, and people are going to fight about things that are never going to get resolved. So here's what I'm asking, okay? Can we please vote for somebody who understands the flow of traffic? I don't understand why it continues the way that it does. I mean, I understand. It's because they're milking it. It's because what happens is people go, oh, well, we need to make a budget for next year. Let's hurry up and spend some more money, so that they believe that we have to spend more money next year, but then they don't actually do anything. Now, let me give you some 4 examples, okay? To me, if you're driving in a straight line, that's good, right? You want to keep that straight line going, so that way you can go fast and whatever. You want to have some room to breathe. You don't want to have a wall right up on you on either side, and an 18-wheeler next to you, and you're like, I feel like I'm going to die at any moment. I want to have room to text and drive, or answer a phone call, maybe write out an email while I'm driving. I don't need to be distracted by the fact that, the walls are closing in on me. Now, let's say you got a highway, okay, which we have lots of them around here. In fact, DFW, you may not know this, that's Dallas-Fort Worth, for those of you that don't live here, has more people in it than 37 different states. So just to be clear on what that means, there are 37 different states that each have a smaller population than the Metroplex that I live in. So you got one major highway coming up, and then another major highway that comes up. Now, how would you intersect these two? I would think a nice long sweep, and you come in there with enough lanes to merge them. However, let me tell you how we do it. Like, oh, I don't know why there's traffic here every day. I'm like, I could give you some clues. Here's what happens, okay? 30's coming up, right? You're on 360. 360 is a pretty major road, is whatever, 5 lanes on each side or something like that. It's coming up, and then you're gonna hit Interstate 30. Now, there's about 25 years ago, there was 230,000 cars a day that go down 30. That's a lot, okay? That's a lot of cars. There's like 7.5 million, 8 million people in the Metroplex. So rather than let's merge 360 into 30, which is another major highway, it's an interstate that goes, across America. Rather than doing that, they're like, you know what we should do? Let's put a stop sign in there. And then they did. You have to exit the highway, which backs up the highway forever, and then stop at a red light, and then turn right. And then once you do that, then you can split off into 2 different things that then go into some cloverleaf circular pattern that then eventually end up back on the highway, which blocks traffic, 10, 20 minutes this way and 10 or 20 minutes that way. I'm just like, please stop doing this. Just make a nice, easy transition. That's not that hard. Here's another thing, and I realize that Europeans are not going to agree with me on this. We as Americans do not comprehend roundabouts. We don't get it. We want to come up to a thing and there's either a light or a stop sign. From what I understand, stop signs, if they've got a white rim around them, they're stoptional. That's my understanding. I may be not 100% correct on all the laws. They change all the time. Anyway, we want to come up to something that is perpendicular and be like, oh, a choice. You know what? I'm going to keep going because the light is green, or I'm going to stop and then I'm going to go, because that's how stop signs work. But roundabouts, we're like, should I stop or not? The flow of traffic is horrible. You can't see what's going on the other side. It's always confusing. You're like, did I go straight? Did I turn? I don't know. Stop it. Stop putting in new ones. And if you get some extra money in your budget, tear out the ones you got and just put regular intersections. We hate it.